Hey guys, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. I have my cozy pants on, and today we're going to wrap presents together for my girls. I thought this year, instead of just showing you wrapping presents, I thought I would answer some questions that you guys have asked me. Some of them are about Christmas and some of them aren't. But before I get into your questions, I want to give you a little bit of a backstory about some Christmas jobs that I've had. I actually was a gift wrapper at Williams-Sonoma when I was about 19 years old. I was just for the Christmas season, and all I did was stand in the back room and wrap overpriced cookware and appliances for the kitchen. That was a fun job, though. It was a really festive time of year, and working at the mall during Christmas is really fun. I also worked at Aveda one year for Christmas, and a funny little story about one of the Christmas jobs I had. I worked at Bath & Body Works one year that was just for the Christmas season. And my very first day on the job, I was pregnant, and my very first day on the job, I passed out and had to be taken out in an ambulance and a stretcher. So that was a little bit awkward. But those are just some of the Christmas jobs that I've had. So now on to your guys' questions. The first question is my favorite Christmas candy, and it has to be my mom's homemade fudge. Her fudge is amazing because it's not like a brownie consistency. It's more like, not cotton candy, but it like dissolves in your mouth kind of like cotton candy. It doesn't really, you have to chew it. But you know what I mean? Like it's just really, really sweet. And I love that texture versus like a chewy kind of fudge. I much prefer her fudge, and it's the best stuff ever, but it's very dangerous because it's very addictive and fattening. The next question is my favorite Christmas song. I actually have one favorite song in general that's just like my favorite, and it's Michael Bublé's Cold December Night. I love that song. It's just so happy and carefree and cozy. But I also love anything by Nat King Cole. I mean, he could sing the phone book and make it sound good. So I love Nat King Cole songs, and I love Michael Bublé. My favorite Christmas movie, probably my new favorite is Fred Claus. I also really like The Holiday. And then as far as like classic ones that I really like to watch every year, I really enjoy White Christmas. I love musicals and I love older movies like that, so it's a perfect movie for Christmas. Someone asked me, do we host Christmas dinner or make a special breakfast on Christmas morning? And the answer is no. I'm kind of a leech, I guess, in that way. Christmas Eve, we actually open our packages from our family, like my husband and me and my girls, because on Christmas morning we go to my husband's grandmother's, and on Christmas evening we go to my parents' house. So I don't cook Christmas dinner. On Christmas Eve we go to church, and then we'll go out to eat. And then when we get back home from dinner, we will open our presents to each other. And then Christmas morning we go to my husband's grandmother's house, like I said, and she usually has lunch. So like an early lunch. So we typically just eat a regular breakfast at home and then go to her house for lunch. So I feel kind of bad, I guess, about that. I've never actually cooked Christmas dinner, but it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I'm not really that good of a cook, and I don't like to cook. So other than making Christmas cookies, we don't really do anything special in the cooking department here at my house. Some of my favorite Christmas traditions, one thing we always do, and I've done ever since I was a kid, we always go out and look at lights. Like we usually get hot chocolate and drive around the neighborhood and around the city really, and try to find as many Christmas lights on houses as we can find. And that's really fun. Something else we also do is I try to remember to make time that we sleep in the living room where the Christmas tree is, one night at least with the girls. It's just cozy to have my space heater on and have the tree on, and to sleep in the living room by the tree. That's really fun. And something else that we do that my mom actually started with us, my brother and I, growing up, we will get 3 of the same ornament every year, one for each girl and then one for my husband and I to share. And that way, when they move out, they already have tons of ornaments from their childhood that hopefully they remember. We put the date on the back if it's not already dated, and it's just a fun tradition to go out and pick out that ornament. And it's something I think that's going to be fun for them when they do move out and start their own houses and have their first Christmas tree, that they will have all of these ornaments from their childhood. Another question I got was my favorite Christmas memory. I have a couple. I mean, overall, Christmas was always a really special time growing up. One of my favorite things used to be decorating for Christmas. I don't particularly enjoy it now, but I did when I was younger. And one of the things I loved was my dad used to have a star that he put on the house that had these really big bulbs on it. And I knew it was Christmas when he would get that star down and put it on top of the house. That was always something that was fun for me, that, seeing him get those decorations out. And then just the general excitement of the day. We opened our presents at night growing up for as long as I can remember. So, you had all Christmas Day to want to open your presents. But in a way, even though that was kind of torturous for a kid, it was still really fun to have that excitement. And I think it's cozier to open presents at night. It's dark outside and the tree is on. So that's one reason why I actually like opening our presents now on Christmas Eve night, because it feels the same as as Christmas growing up, since we opened at night. So I love that. Now, all the rest of the questions are not Christmas related. Somebody asked me life experiences that have taught me the most. I really don't know, just in general, growing up and figuring out what's really important and what really matters. That's something that I have learned a lot in these last few years, actually. And then just in general, that I'm stronger than I thought I was. You go through life and you think that you can handle things, but you haven't actually experienced that much yet. But then when you actually experience these things that just should really crush you, and they don't, you really realize how resilient you are, how strong you are. And that's one thing that I've learned here in the last few years, is just how strong that I am, so much more than I thought and had given myself credit for. I was also asked what my biggest flaw and my biggest strengths are. Well, my biggest flaw is definitely that I'm very stubborn and set in my ways. I tend to like things to be consistent, and I like for them to be kind of the way that I want them to be. So that I'm just very stubborn. I like to do things my way, and I like to, it's really hard for me to do things differently than the way that I want to. So that's my biggest flaw. My biggest strength, I think, is my youthful personality and sense of humor. I really love to make people laugh and to smile. And I still get enjoyment out of such small little, mundane things like birds and squirrels and just goofy things that people sometimes overlook. I feel like I still notice those things, and that generally makes me a happier person, and I think that's a really good quality to have. So I think that's my biggest strength. I was also asked what my favorite homeschool curriculum is. I would have to say right now it's Story of the World. Like, I have curriculum that I love. Like, I love that my girls use teaching textbooks for math, because I don't have to teach them math anymore. But as far as something that I'm involved in, Story of the World is our history program right now, and I am learning so much that either I didn't learn growing up, or maybe they just didn't teach it. I'm not really sure which one it is. But I'm learning so much about history that is really, really interesting, and I'm learning it right along with my girls, so I really love Story of the World. I was also asked what my favorite Chick-fil-A meal is. If we go to Chick-fil-A, which is not very often, because I have to admit, going into Chick-fil-A makes me want to have a nervous breakdown, because it's always loud, and there's always kids screaming, and there's people always waiting in line, and it makes me nervous. But if I go to Chick-fil-A, or if I go through the drive-thru, I always get the kids' chicken nuggets with honey, and of course, you've got to have waffle fries and ketchup. So that is what I get every time I go to Chick-fil-A. I was also asked, do I keep my girls' secret from YouTube, and why? I definitely have never showed my girls' faces in my YouTube videos, and I don't even say their names in my videos, just because YouTube, first of all, is a choice that I made. I chose to put myself out there, and that is not a choice that they made. And it's also just basically a privacy and a protection issue. There are so many great people on YouTube, and there's so many good people that are on the internet, but there's also a lot of creepy people that are out there that are on the internet to do no good, and I just don't want to put my kids in that situation. I'm not saying I never will. I've thought about it because I really want to share them with you guys. It would be so fun because they're hilarious and they're just so fun, but for right now, I don't feel like it's safe. I don't know that I will ever change my mind, but I don't feel like it's a safe environment to put them in, at least at this point, and so that's why I never show them, and that's why I never say their names. And the last thing I was asked is what I'm looking forward to the most. That's a really hard question, because there's long-term things I'm looking forward to, and there's short-term things. Short-term, I'm excited for our trip to Disney that we take every May. That's something I'm excited for and think about all year long. I'm also excited about just continuing to grow and learn with my girls, watching them grow and hopefully growing closer to them, and hopefully watching them grow even closer to each other. And just, from a business standpoint or a hobby standpoint, I'm really excited for my channel. I'm really excited about the opportunities that I've already had, and I'm excited about the opportunities that hopefully are to come, and that my channel will continue to grow, and I will get to know so many more of you guys better, and that we can add to my YouTube channel family with even more people to get to know. So I really, honestly, truly love my YouTube channel and enjoy it so much. So I'm really excited about the potential of that and the possibilities that brings, and I'm just excited in general to continue growing in my faith, becoming more like Jesus and trying to be more like him and reflect him in everything that I do. That is something I strive for every day, and I try to remember to pray every day that I reflect Jesus' image and his love every day as much as possible. And of course I don't. I fail because I'm a sinner and I'm a human and I make mistakes. But that is something that I do try to do, I do want to do, and I do hope that I can continue to grow in my faith and my ability to do that. So I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. I hadn't planned on making it any kind of a Q&A. I had just planned on making it kind of a sped up of me wrapping gifts. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure if you did, you give it a thumbs up. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.